10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the podcast from Duck Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions. Turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
Yeah, y'all. We back, y'all. What's good? It's your girl, Lady Miz and Ray. Y'all already know what it is. We got a super dope, talented artist in the building by the name of Auda, and y'all about to get to know her right now. What's good? Take two. If y'all only knew, right? How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm like beyond good. It's mad love to be here. I'm glad to be here with you guys and talking about things today.
Yes, well, we're happy to have you in the building. So let's get started. Why don't you state your name and tell the people where you're from?
Okay. Well, my name's Auda Raquel. People just call me Auda. I'm from South Jersey, a little town called Mays Landing, right outside of Atlantic City.
Okay, South Jersey, stand up. Y'all already know what it is. Let's get it. Feel like deja vu, right? So you said you're from South Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
South Jersey, born and raised.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's pretty nice down there. I like our shores and our lakes and stuff and our nature.
Okay, very nice. So listen, what made you get into music? Who influenced you to start getting into music?
Who influenced me? Well, it was about a couple years ago that I realized, okay, let me start really experimenting into like the technical aspects of, producing a song and singing and things like that. And at that time, I was actually really into EDM.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I actually really love EDM a lot.
Okay.
And so there are some artists who like influenced me were Alina Baraz, she's an EDM artist. Sabrina Claudio.
Okay.
Let's see. Also, Kygo. He doesn't sing, but he produces music, and he's phenomenal at what he does. And it's not that I was necessarily influenced to be like them, per se, but I wanted to capture a sort of vibe that they give people.
And what type of vibe would that be?
Just, relaxed, but also, lit at the same time, and also this vibe of this person is moving with a purpose,
Okay, yes, okay.
And a purpose is definitely what I have with doing this music and stuff, and they definitely, when I listen to those artists, Lena Braz, Sabrina Claudio, Kygo, at that time I was just like captured by their music, and especially how they actually technically put it together.
Okay.
Like the frequencies they use are just mesmerizing. They leave you just in this whole other space where you've escaped wherever you're currently at.
Oh, nice. Okay. That sounds really, really intriguing too. I don't know. I want to hear it because I don't know some of them artists. Soraya does. She got to put me on. Big shout out to Soraya Alexis. Yes. I always thought that the EDM was more music and less words.
Well, it can be.
Okay.
But a lot of artists, that are from like the past 10 years, maybe even 15 years, but let's say 10, have started putting more words to it. There is a lot of EDM music where there are no words.
Okay.
But then there's now a lot that happen.
Okay.
But you can take it or leave it. You don't, like, the music itself is so beautiful that sometimes you can just do without the words.
Okay. All right. That's good to hear. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. So how long have you been writing and doing music?
Well, I've been writing since I was like 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Like, I remember, well, this was a little, like maybe when I was like 10 though. I had this assignment for class, and it was like, okay, the teacher was like, you can write your spelling words 10 times each.
Okay.
Or you can use your spelling words and make a story. I was the only person who wrote a story in the class.
Oh my God. Super smart. That's what I'm talking about. Let's give it up.
Now, because I was going to ask, at 8 years old, what are you writing about? You know?
Yeah, yes. Order. Tell us that, please.
Well, the first thing I wrote at 8 years old was actually a song to my parents. And,
Aww.
yeah, it actually came about because I remember one time I was sitting in the living room, and, you know, we're all in the house just, you know, being crazy family members. You know, the TV's on, and there was this commercial that came on. It was an Above the Influence ad.
Okay.
And it was like a little song, like talking about the awareness of certain drugs. And I was like, wow, and it really touched me. I was like, wow, and I remembered the whole jingle from the commercial, and I'm like, well, if they can like do that to me,
that's right.
Well, let me write this song to my parents about like quitting smoking cigarettes.
Oh, look at that.
But it was terrible. No, it was called.
I'm sure they appreciated it and said, well, wow, look at our bright daughter actually taking the next step and writing the song. You might have thought it was terrible, but the fact that you thought that I can do this on my own is that's a big thing.
Yeah, it
you
is.
know?
Yeah.
So that's great. That is great. So you said you've been doing music for how long now?
Well, focusing on it as far as like my aspiration, I would have to say about a year.
A year.
But I started like dabbling in the technical aspects 2 years ago.
Okay.
But you know, a year ago I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. So let me start, you know, doing this right. You know, budgeting, marketing, all that stuff. You know?
Oh, so you know you're doing all that with your music, budgeting. You know how to do the budgeting and the marketing. Oh, that's great. That's great because a lot of artists don't know that part of the game, and people spend a lot of money into creating the music, but then they have nothing to push it to get it out there to the people. So you know, if you want the world to hear, you gotta have that budget, you know, aside to be able to promote and market yourself. That's very important. As I was saying before, but you know, we had our little difficulties. I seen you here performing, which was great. Your whole vibe, everything was super dope. Your voice, your energy was excellent. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta get her on the show. And I just want to know, like, how did you come into this woman that you are now?
Wow. No, I went through a lot of, I mean, I guess like most people or a lot of people, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations. Like, I actually, I used to be like a person who was like, kind of like extremely brooding and like, you know, not necessarily the most positive person. And
really, I can't see it at all.
Yeah,
Wow, that's some. Listen, that's I can't see it. But go ahead.
No, I just realized that like, you know, the way that I was existing, you know, emotionally and spiritually, you know, it wasn't working, and I didn't want to live like that anymore. You know.
Yes.
I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. So I had to start changing things within myself. And it also, the first thing, it started with my language, like changing the language I use with others and the language I use with myself.
Okay.
Like just for instance, like I don't like to throw the beat. Can we say that? The beat?
No. You can say yeah. This is fine. You could speak freely. Say whatever you want to say. But
but like for instance, like I don't joke around using the word bitch. Like you know, girls say, "Oh,
that's my bitch." Right? I don't like that either.
No. You don't have to use that word.
Right.
Other words we can use.
Right, because we're better than that. But I think with time, especially us as black women, we've been conditioned over time to think that that's acceptable, and then we accept it, and now everyone thinks it's okay to call us that, and most people are okay with it. But no, you're right. That's not good, and that's not the way that you approach or talk to someone or call someone. Yeah, because if I call you that, I'm upset. Okay. Wow. Okay. So did something happen that made you say, I want to change. I want to do a 360 because you're a beautiful person. Listen, I'm sure everybody can see it. Your energy is really good. Believe me. Did anything happen to make you say like, this is I have to change this? Was it a specific thing, or was just you saying, no, I don't like being this way?
Well, it actually was a specific thing. Actually, how old was I? I was 19, and I was at this point in my life where I was in a very dark place just mentally, like I said, you know, and the specific thing is that I actually like had kind of like suicidal tendencies. Like I didn't want to live. Like I never like did self-harm or anything, but like, you know, just living in a dark space in your mind for such a long time, you know, that idea, you know, eventually will get thrown around and tossed around in your head. And I remember I was in my room one night and I was just crying, and I was kneeling by my bedside, and I was like, and that's when I said, actually, that's exactly when I said, I was repeating to myself, I don't want to live. And then that's also when I said something like triggered me. It's like, no, I don't want to live like this.
Okay.
So that was the defining moment, because like in my head, I had made up my mind, like before I, you know, that sort of self breakthrough I had made up in my mind that, all right, this is it for me, like, you know. And but at that point I was like, okay, what can I do to fight for myself? Like, what am I not doing, you know, to fight for myself? And so, like I said, I started, you know, changing my language with myself, and that changes a lot. Just doing that is like changed so much.
It's a big thing.
And then I started like, you know, reflecting on how I respond to people and how I respond to myself, and reflecting on my thoughts and why I have certain thoughts that I do and where those things actually originate from and come from. Like I really just did some self-exploration into myself and my mind, and, you know, looking at all the negative things and the positive things, and seeing like, okay, who am I? And then, you know, actually at the age of 23, I found my purpose. It's tattooed on my arm.
Oh, okay. All right. So, you know, I think it's important, if anybody's going through something out there and they hear this, to know that there is light on the other side of that darkness. You know what I mean? And you have a purpose, and you're living it, and it's possible. And you can show people that, and you know what I mean. That's a really good thing. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because I got another question. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No. I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm impressed. You know, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology, but I respect that. You know, and I'm happy for you. That's a blessing, definitely.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you know, when I see you, you seem so calm, right?
Yes.
What do you do to make yourself stay that way?
Honestly, well, one of the things, all right, this goes, speaks to a principle, one of the principles I live by. There's three. Love, you gotta live in love, truth, and understanding, first for self, and then external for the world. And a lot of my calmness came from understanding in general, you know, and then also with understanding, you know, the people around me and understanding myself and understanding, you know, why things happen and occur the way they do, I kind of found, I did find this like inner peace.
Okay.
Like I don't let trivial things, you know, anger me. Like, you know, there was traffic and I had a car issue actually on the way here, and I'm like, it's no big deal. It's just like, you know, it's what's going to happen is going to happen. So
that's
you know, why get mad, you know? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of my overall peace came from, you know, understanding and just going through life, understanding things that occur, you know, in people.
Yes. Wow. Okay. All right. So, yes, we all need to practice that. But you know what? I know what you're saying, because I have my moments where I still have those outbursts. But then I also have my moments where, you know, I'm like, let me calm down. I don't need to respond. And when I'm like that, I do notice that I feel better. You know, it's even the after effect of the response. You know what I mean? So I totally understand and get that. Now we have, because, you know, we want to get into your music, right? Because that's the main thing, and we want people to hear your voice and everything. But we have a video that we're going to play, and I would like you to introduce that video.
Ooh, okay, so So this video, Bad Energy, it's called Bad Energy. It was shot by a videographer in South Jersey. His name is Native Xean, Native Xean.
Okay.
And so this video is about pretty much just living your life and understanding that people are gonna have bad energy. But just because they have bad energy doesn't mean that you have to let it affect you. And sometimes you just gotta leave that bad energy where it is.
That's right.
No shade to them, but you gotta live in your light.
I love that. Yes, most definitely. So we're gonna get into that video right now. Bad Energy. Let's do it. Yes, yes, yes. That was super dope. And oh my God, the energy. Again, when I'm watching that video, it's very calming. You look like you're always in a very calming space. How was it shooting that?
That was actually really fun. Me and my one friend actually did a lot of pre-planning and acquiring different sorts of props and getting together the concession tent and getting the artwork and just a lot,
Okay.
a lot of moving parts to that. And it was just a beautiful experience. Just working with everybody. I think one of the things I like the most about it is that I brought different people together who normally wouldn't be together.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then I also, got to kick it with Miss Billy Joe, who was the artist. Like, she's at the end. That's her little cameo. Mm-hmm. She's a really awesome artist who does, a lot of socially conscious art concerning, the Black movement, the Black rights movement and things like that. And so overall, it was amazing. And, working with the videographer, he's just phenomenal because we ran into a lot of road bumps, a lot. And he's just like, don't worry, I got it. And he did.
That's good. Well, no one would ever know that because people never know what goes on behind the scenes, But when you look at the finishing project, you can appreciate it more. You know everything that you had to do to get to that point, right? So I think that's the most important thing. It's a beautiful video. There's a kid there in the end. Talk to me about him and what was going on with him.
Oh yeah, so that is Brody. He is awesome. He's one of my friends' kid, and he is just a phenomenal young person. He actually raps himself, and
okay,
and he freestyles, and he's actually phenomenal.
Wow,
extremely, extremely phenomenal. And it was actually funny because on that day of the shoot, he had a freestyle battle with one of my friends who was I had my a little team of security and concession and just helping out with stuff. Mm-hmm. And so one of my friends was on that little team, and they had a freestyle battle, and I'm like, he killed him. Shit!
You heard that right there. It's over.
Okay. Now the scenery, that scenery you picked, because it seemed like a calming area. That was something you purposely picked yourself, or that was
nice? Nice.
No, that was definitely carefully picked out. Me and my friend, we did location scouting beforehand. So I think we actually spent maybe a week on scouting locations. We went to a lot of different locations, and only 1, 2, 3 were used out of we maybe went to 9. And I wanted something that was more natural, more organic. It was my first professionally done video, so I wanted something natural, organic, something that speaks to my brand. Mm-hmm. And I did want a calming sort of vibe because the song is calming in itself. And I love nature, so I was like, I'm all for the natural scenes.
Yes. And now you have other music out. How much songs do you have out right now on platforms?
Okay, so my music is available on every platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one full, it's an EP.
Okay.
Called Savage Redefined.
All right.
That was my first ever project that I published and got distributed and everything.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And that took me 7 months because I did a photo shoot. I did a little bit of marketing, so I had to work in the marketing content. I did I created all the advertisements and all the promotional content.
Nice. Okay.
So that was a long project. But then aside from that, I have a lot of singles, just in various genres because that's just how I am. I love
versatile, right? Yeah. That's good. No, that's really good because you reach a lot of people that way too.
How did you come up across to do the show up here?
Okay. So, all right. So the organizer CRE845 New York. I actually met them, like, I believe like a year, no, yeah, it was about a year ago. Yeah, September, it was the end of September last year, and I was doing this show called Flashburn. It was a festival, 2-day festival. And so at the festival, they were the stage managers, CRE845 New York. And, you know, so I met them, you know, because I performed there, and then we were kicking it, and and then, like, you know, that's all she wrote. And then actually, even more directly, I did a online performance, like March, I believe.
Okay.
And they were like, and so, you know, I built the relationship with them through that, and they asked me to do this show.
So you also have a song with DJ Money McFly, right? And that song, I seen you guys perform here together, and I can't wait to you know, have y'all back and get that performance. But that song, oh, I love that song. Oh my God, I love that song. Talk to me briefly about that. I know, just give me a little bit, not a lot, because I want y'all to both be here, but just give me a little history and you know, let the people know what that song is about.
So that song comes from a album called Malcolm's Dream. Well, an EP called Malcolm's Dream.
Okay.
That was, you know, produced by the Beat Tape, which Money McFly is a, you know, part of that collective.
Okay.
And so the song's called Melanin, and when I heard this song, like, because we actually locked in the studio for like, it had to be like almost a week, about a week.
Okay.
Like I went to his place and met with the other producers, and we went into his home studio, and he was like, okay, this is what I got. So I was like, I love it.
Listen, y'all vibes together was really, really good. I just loved, again, your energy is dope. He came with his energy, and we didn't know, you know, he's the DJ, you know what I mean? So coming from behind the DJ booth and spitting bars, and not only that, he was just, the vibes and the energy he was giving off, respecting the black women. I love that, you know, and he was just complimenting you, you know, everything. That was like my favorite. I love that, because we need to see stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, we need to see our men respecting us and seeing more to us than just, you know, ass and tits. Okay, let's be honest. You know, you want personality, you want the heart, you want to know where their mind is at. Like, you can see that you guys are in a whole nother place, in space, in a good space. Okay, so keep giving that, and thank y'all for bringing that content to the forefront for everyone to see, because it is needed in this industry, big time. All right. Really quickly, the pandemic, is it affecting you in any type of way with your music, in a negative or positive way? I know this is difficult.
Yeah, no, it has both negatively and positively. Negatively, well, because I had 7 shows canceled over the summer, so that was like, whoo. But you know, I understand why it happened.
Okay.
You know, upon looking back on all the events that were taking place in my life, and what I would have been going through while those shows, you know, if those shows had gone on, I would have been going through a lot of things in my life at that time. So,
okay.
You know, so, you know, without having those shows, you know, I was going through those things, but I didn't have to worry about, you know, practicing and preparing for the performance in the manner that I would have if those performances, you know, were at the time. So,
okay.
But aside from that, positive is that, which I think a lot of my artist friends can agree with, like not just musicians, artists in general, is that it allowed us artists more time to create, but it also put a lot of us in a very brooding mindset, in which we're like just kind of contemplating and reflecting on the state of the world.
Okay.
And but nonetheless, it was a very creative period. It allowed a lot of creative freedom and a lot more time to just let our minds just sit and create and write and compose, and that was beautiful.
Yes. So you get your good and your bad in, and I always say, even though everything is difficult now, in these times, but it did also bring people to say, hold up, slow down, because we're living in a very fast-paced world, and start to value the people in your life and what matters most. Okay, so it does help in that sense. When it comes to the industry, what would you say that you learned from the time that you started to the time now? Is there anything that you could say you learned along the way?
Oh yeah, a lot. One, which has to do with just existing as an artist, is just to be kind to yourself. And I actually, kind of picked that up from a jazz singer who I opened for at a show in South Jersey, and I had went to one of her shows, and she, I was like, what advice could you give me? Because I was actually about to. This was before I performed at Flashburn, which was the first performance I actually did.
Okay.
And so, I went to one of her shows beforehand and spoke with her, and she said, "Well, be kind to yourself."
Oh,
and
that's a good one.
Yeah, and I listen to things, but I was like, okay, be kind to yourself. I know that, I understand that, but I didn't understand that when I performed that I would be so critical on myself. You know what I mean? And then
a lot of artists are.
And then I really understood what she meant when she said be kind, and I was like, wow, like I'm kind to myself on a daily, but when I stepped on that stage. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, I could have done this, right? I could have done this. And then but now, going through, other performances, I, started to be more kind to myself. Like okay, yeah, nice. Self-critique, but okay, yeah, I did that right. Or, ooh, I turned on them real quick. Like, ooh. They felt that. You have to be kind to yourself. So.
Okay, all right. And where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I think this might be the same for a lot of artists. I see myself, just pursuing this and only music,
Okay.
Yeah, of course with other endeavors, but I see this being my thing that I do, my job, my life, my love, my passion, my everything. I want this to be my living and breathing moment.
Okay. Are you looking to sign with a label, or do you want to stay independent, distribution deal? What are you looking for to get out of this?
Well,
your end game.
I would like to stay independent.
Okay.
And
that's what we're talking about. Stay independent. You already know.
And it doesn't mean that I would never work with people on labels.
Okay.
I definitely would do that, but I need to remain independent because, this is bigger than music for me. It's about, delivering messages that may be censored under other conditions. So, I just see myself being independent, maybe, having some other side entrepreneurial endeavors that I do to, fund certain aspects of music and just make investments and I just see myself really just killing it.
All right, listen, I believe in you already doing that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay, you are already doing that. Do you have any other projects that you're working on right now that we could look forward to coming out?
So yes, this project, I've been waiting for this. It's this project I was working on called No Affiliation. That's what the song's called. And it has a music video, and it's actually dropping October 16th, which is also my birthday.
Oh, okay, that's right. October 16th, look for it. So where can people find that? And that's your birthday too?
Yeah.
Okay. So where would people be able to find this music?
So the video is going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
And then the music will be on, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes.
Okay, so on all major platforms.
Yes.
Okay, great. Is there anything that I did not ask you that you want people to know?
I mean, not really. I mean, you gotta ask me.
Well, I just want to make sure that I covered everything. So, you're going to give your socials and tell people how they can find you and support you. But if there's something that I did not ask you that you felt like, hey, we didn't get to this, I want people to know this, this is your time. If not, if you feel like, no, we're good, then we're going to get to your socials.
Well, I did just want to say one more thing about the No Affiliation Project.
Okay.
Because it is such an important project. Because that song has to do with self-discovery.
Okay.
And it's looking at self in a different perspective. And the reason why it's called No Affiliation is because it talks about how a person, when they take themselves out of their external affiliations and really look at themselves as existing as a singular being.
Okay.
And when they look at that person, they'll be able to figure out who they are when they're outside of their external affiliations.
Oh.
Or rather, when they're inside themselves.
So it's like them looking in, like their body outside, like their soul and reflecting on the inside of who they are.
Yeah.
Is that what it's summing it up? Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that's like a really important, project that I just wanted everybody to check out because I think it's, it's right on time for election season,
Yes.
So it's like, who are you without everything that, you define yourself by as far as these external affiliations go, like not a Christian, not a Republican, not a this, who are
the label.
You?
That's right.
And I think that's, I just wanted people to really check that out because, I have a lot of things to say in that song that I think could resonate with people or, get them to look at self in a different perspective that I think needs to be looked at.
Okay. All right. And we look forward to hearing that and seeing the video. So please keep us updated when you release that. How can people get in touch with you and follow you and support you?
So my main thing I do is Instagram, which is at AUDARAQ3. That's Auda Rock 3.
Okay.
And also I use Facebook, so you can just look up my name, Auda Raquel. No space, Auda Raquel, just together. Okay. And then just email me. You can find that on my Instagram. But those are the main ways to get into contact with me. If you just want to say hey, say what's up.
All right. Listen, that's beautiful. Listen, so y'all heard it here from the Ground Up Productions. Make sure you follow her, please, and support. She has all her music on all major platforms, so make sure you guys go download it. Do you offer direct sales? I asked the other gentleman that. Do you offer that?
I do not.
Okay. Well, you might want to think about it because you get more of your money back, right? So, because we know that the streaming is good because you can reach people that you can't, reach in another way. So it is great. But if you want 100% of your profit, would you be willing to offer direct sales to someone who may wants to purchase? Send you Cash App or PayPal and then you send them the MP3 or whatever? Is that something that you would want?
Yeah, no, definitely. Because these songs are messages I want people to have with them. So, I would definitely offer that.
Okay, so that's great. And then get 100% of your profit. So there you go. So that's another option if you guys want to support her. Thank you again for coming out, and I really look forward to, doing this again with you. Again, beautiful music, beautiful vibe, beautiful video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Ray, you have anything else?
I enjoyed the songs, and your attitude is calm and
yes, you got us relaxed. We need
chill.
So listen, again, we want to thank you for coming on to the show, and we look forward to you coming back. There we go. So we're out. This is From the Ground Up. It's Lady Miz and Ray, and that is it.
Peace.
From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.